Hey everyone, welcome to Pop XP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the Pop XP channel. What is going on YouTube? Oh man, snap, Billy, Adam. Oh my God, guys. It's another night of
We're together.
Fun. We're
the
together.
band is together.
We're together.
Yes.
This is great.
Yes.
Yep.
2 nights in a row.
Really, I feel like I need some art right here, don't I?
Yes, you do.
So that I can match. It's just depressing, isn't it?
It is.
I got some Tintin over here, but I need this. Okay.
Either that, or you need a nice 18 by 24 poster of Paul Lind.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got this from I had this printed up here from the 8th.
Oh,
one of the there he is.
Oh,
from one of the pages.
Yeah,
so that maybe
nice. Yeah, put that right up
maybe
there.
that.
Oh my God! Go get a hammer and
get a couple of them. Do it right now. Just hammer it in.
Do it right now. Okay, ignore this. Okay, gotcha. Anyways, so next stream that will be there. Okay. I just needed your approval, Billy, because you're the art director here. So we'll take it.
Approves.
And you need to get the little display, like the little light, like those lamps that go over the paintings. You need to get one of those mounted, the little wall sconces. Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
The wall
sconces. Adam, do you have little lights? Are those little lights?
Yeah. So these are lights, and so they're nice lights. You see them close, it turns everything dark. But then you add a little light to your face, and you say, oh wait, let's put a little something here on them, on the background.
Scala, will you look at
Would you look at that?
You look on the background
what
here.
You
can
do
right here.
With light, Billy. Oh my God.
Oh, see, look at that. Now we've got some light coming up. Here we go.
Bro, you gotta get the accents back here, man. You gotta get the color changing. It's a subtle ambiance.
Well, I can change the colors.
I want to buy those lights too, Scala. What do we get them?
Oh, I'll show you.
They're $90 bucks.
They sell them on the Amazons, Billy.
They sell them on the Amazon, yeah.
They sell them on the Amazon.
I like the Amazon.
Yeah.
Yes, we got so many people coming. Apex Comics, welcome Jimmy Owens, Brian Suddenly Old, 8-Bit Head, Hero and Berg Era. Oh man, everyone's coming in, looking good, people.
And we got a great show.
Great jinx, bro.
Great show.
We even leaned in at the same time. That's
I know.
So weird.
Oh wait, I missed that. One more time, guys. Ready? And 1, 2, 3.
Great show.
Billy,
come on, man.
Billy.
God, he saw something shiny.
I have the YouTube over here on this monitor, and it's like delayed, so I missed it. All right,
no!
Sorry,
because I was watch it on YouTube, bro.
Yeah,
you gotta watch it from
StreamYard.
Ready? And 1, 2, 3.
Great show.
Great show.
All right. That's right. Billy, I feel like you got to do the introduction. We got a great, not just one, but two, a pair. The A is with the B, working together.
The A is with the B.
Yes.
Let's do
it. What do we
it.
have on tonight, brother?
Me doing it right now?
You do it. I want you to do it.
Oh, all right. Yeah. We are so honored today to have an old friend of the show, one of our very first guests on the Pop XP, Nile, if you remember.
I remember that.
And we had that was a fantastic show. I think we went like 2.5 hours. I promise you.
Crowdfunding comics then.
But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, or Adam, don't. Aaron and Shelley Lopresti.
Welcome.
Nice.
Boom.
Nice build up. I'm not sure we can live up to, but we'll do our best.
Oh,
Aaron, I am digging the shirt. Shelley, as always, you look stunning.
Oh,
and I just have a question to ask. Did you marry Aaron for his money? Is Aaron a millionaire? Like, how did that happen? How did that happen? Just
well,
how much money did we have when we got married?
Nada.
Oh, then I think you know
I married
why.
him because he was the
He's a
nicest
great
guy I met, and I thought I can't do better. But no, he had, as I told you, he had potential to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
I was a teacher when he met me, so he knew that was just not happening. So, yeah, I married thinking, well, then when we first got married, he did a Spider-Man book that had a pretty nice royalty check. And I thought,
$28,000.
I done good.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Comics were fun. Who wrote that book, Aaron?
It was 365, the silver, the black
The
one with the
hologram?
silver hologram cover.
Yeah.
So there was
Yeah.
a variety of artists on it. Bagley, of course, was the main artist. I lucked out because I did a retelling of Spider-Man's origin. It was like a 10-page story, but I penciled and I inked it, so I got double royalties.
Nice. Just imagine,
Nice.
imagine you drew that whole book.
I had hair.
He had hair.
Let me
Oh,
find-
here
Nice.
we go.
I'll find
let's
a picture.
see.
And we
Prove
were
it.
both like super fit, and then
I love
life
this comment. Heck yeah, they have
Let's
Shelley
see.
and that guy who's on her
Check
channel.
that out, dude.
Dude, what?
That's me.
You look like Wolverine, bro.
Oh my
I know.
God.
Look at that, man.
What? Look at that.
Aaron, what happened? Aaron,
Yeah,
what
I know.
happened?
life,
I don't know. I hit
He's-
40 and everything changed, man.
gravity.
Dude.
Yeah. I went.
Well,
from,
I can understand, Shelley, when considering mates, you think, who could be rich, the investment banker or the comic book artist? And the clear decision is the comic book artist. I don't know why, it's clear.
Tell him what you thought when I first. She goes, "What do you
Okay.
do for a living?" And I said, "I draw comic books." And she thought,
In my head, only in my head. What are you, 12? And I was teaching middle school at the time, so I thought, well, I hang out with 12-year-olds all day.
"Might as well marry one."
Might as well see how it goes.
Well, I guess you knew you'd never be bored.
Oh
Boy, that's
no,
right.
it is hysterical because I have a master's degree in mathematics. So together we make one brain.
There you go.
I have
there
almost
you go.
zero artistic ability. I'm somewhat creative, but yeah, it still freaks me out to watch him draw and go,
He's
you just do that.
incredible.
You just
Yes,
pulled
he
that
is
out of your
amazing.
noggin, put it on
Incredible.
paper, and said, "Ta-da!" So
we
yeah,
we go to bed, and I have her start explaining calculus to me, and I'm right to sleep, just like that.
Nice.
So it works out great.
Nice. So, Shelley, when you met, we saw Aaron looking like a biker mass murderer with the wife beater. Badass. First of all, she proved that. Did you have big hair?
oh, our theory back then was the bigger your hair was, the smaller your butt looked.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a little tiny butt. No, I had some serious hair.
All right. Well, you're going to have to fish those pictures out because
Okay.
we're going to be launching a new show soon called Comic Book Couples. And it's going to be me and Debbie interviewing all of our friends in comics who are couples. And so that'll be interesting. And
I hope you got some of the
It's
old
just
ones.
an excuse to drink. That's all.
yeah, and we're going to drink.
Well,
I'm
Aaron, and
way
you're
ahead
gonna
of you, my
got a
friend.
white cloth. rock and
White
roll.
Claw.
It's yeah.
So I don't
I'm
know if you
always
guys know, but
designated driver.
we have the wonderful Adam Lawson here, and he's a huge fan, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. It's been really exciting because I feel like over this time of crowdfunding comics, and I don't know if you've felt this, Aaron, but like there's been this amazing trend to see great artists and writers and creators who've said, "Wait, I've had this story all along, but I've been working for bigger corporations that I can't go make that story for," and they've been able to jump out on their own and create something. And for me, that's always exciting because when I saw WRAITH of God coming up, I was like, I wonder what Aaron's going to create when there's no rules, right? And it's obviously it's a mix of what looks like werewolves and the headless horseman and all kinds of fun action and adventure, and obviously with your great art. So it's like this is a really exciting thing for me to see, right? It was exciting when I saw Sean Murphy do plot holes, right? Because it's like, what does he do when there's no one else around? And so I'm excited to hear about what's in your head about it. I've read the campaign and seen stuff, but
It was an interesting thing because I had a bunch of ideas, right? Like we all do, right? We've all got our own little
Sure.
universe that we've created since we were 12, and like, okay, I got 20 series. What am I going to do? And I couldn't decide, right? Because I kept thinking this. I thought WRAITH of God was the strongest thing I had, but it was a Western, right? So I thought, yeah, it was a Western horror, but it was still a Western, right? And I'm like, how can I spin this? No one's going to buy a Western, right? So I threw all these things in a sack, and I prayed and I said, God, pick the right, show me which one to do, right? And so it's kind of like throwing lots, right? And so I reached in, pulled out WRAITH of God, and I'm like, no, this can't be. Put it back in, shook him up, did it again. It came out again, right? So I said, all right, okay,
I get it.
I'll do it. But then like a year passed and I was, still doing stuff at DC, and so I went back to it and I said, all right, I got to do something. So there's no way I'm doing Wraith of God, right? Even though God literally told me to do it. So I put it back in the sack, did the same thing, shook it up, pulled it out again. I said, all right, okay, I'll do it.
No way.
I swear that's the truth. And so,
because he runs.
When God gives you a 3 for 3,
you're never going to
you know.
It's like my name's in it.
I'm doing it. So, and it's turned out okay. But it was, the more I thought about it, and as I was putting the story together, I said, how can I sell this? And it became evident to me that what you really got here is sort of you've got a troubled character who becomes this vigilante, and he has this helper. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is Batman of the Old West. And she, his helper is Alfred, but they don't really have a good relationship. And they got this other stuff going on. And I thought, that's how I can approach this, as a Batman of the Old West, but as more of a monster hunter than just someone who fights crime. And so it became a mash of all the genres that I really sort of dig. And the fun thing about doing a Western is I'm doing stuff I've never got to do before, right? So I'm challenging myself. I got to draw the guns, and I'm not a gun guy. I got to draw the horses, and I got to draw all the old Western towns and the wagons and get the costumes right and all that kind of stuff, which sort of motivates you and challenges you. It's not the same thing as drawing Justice League, because I know how to draw Superman and how to Batman, and there's a robot here, so I'll draw a big robot and whatever.
Yep.
This is, I've got to go and do some research, and I've got to draw stuff I haven't really drawn before. And so it's kind of an exciting challenge, and it kind of needs something after being in the industry 25 plus years,
a few decades,
to really motivate you again, to really kind of renew your energy. And this has really done it for me. I'm just excited like crazy and I'm already started working on it really to get into it full time.
See, that's such a cool thing, because I think that's what indie comics have done for a lot of people, not just for you as a creator, but for fans. Be like, I've been reading comics. I'm 42. I've been reading them since I was 12, right? I've given DC and Marvel tens of thousands of dollars. I've read all I ever need to read about Batman and Superman and Green Lantern. Not that they're bad or evil. I've given all my life that I can give to them, right?
Right.
And I'm really, like you're saying, it's refreshing, because now it's like I picked up this book Barbaric that's on Vault Comics, right? What a fun rad. Yeah, that's such a fun rad book. Or your Graveyard Shift came in, recently, or Wirehead from various people in the CG community, and it's like, how cool is this, right? I'm now, as a fan, feel like you as the artist, like this is something new to explore, not like, oh, here's Spider-Man's origin again, right? Not that, you know what I mean? And it's not that it's evil. It's just you played it out.
Yeah, these characters have been around for some of them, 70, 80 years, right? And and the funny thing as an artist / occasional writer is that you're really excited when you get your first job, right? At Marvel or DC or wherever it was. For me, it was Marvel. My mind was just blown. I can't believe I'm doing this little Spider-Man story for Marvel Comics Presents or whatever. But then after you've done it and done it and done it and done it, it's like
it's a job.
You would have thought I would have been, when I finally got to do Justice League, whatever it was, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, last thing I did for DC, you'd think, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. But it was fine, but it wasn't like, wow. The excitement was gone. At that point, it was just like, I got a kid in college, I got a mortgage, what's the next job?
Right.
That someone's going to throw my way. And it's like, do the best you can. I'm not saying I hacked anything out, because I realized the importance of it, that it had to look good. But at the same time, that sort of excitement and energy that you had when you first got into the industry and you're working on this stuff for the first time, it's just, it's gone. So to be able to do something like this, it's like you're starting over again, right? Because this is now all your stuff that you've had in your file cabinet forever, and now you're finally getting a chance to do it and get it out to the world. So it's a whole new level of energy and excitement that I haven't had in a while. So
that's
and
the
for
best
the fans, they get to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
it's so cool. Yeah.
Now,
damn it, let me talk. Hear me?
Sorry.
So that's really cool.
That's really all you
No,
got.
Well, good night, everybody.
but that's what I love about the indie comics and the scenes, and especially talking with the guys that have worked in the mainstream. That the goal is to I want to work on a Batman book, a Spider-Man book. You do it, you get there, and it's like, okay, now it's a job, right? And then you're just getting your deadlines, doing your things. And it's like you almost lose that passion and energy that you had when you were trying to break in to work on these characters. That now you get to do your own thing, and it's almost like it's like a rejuvenation, like being almost like reborn into the creative person that you were when you were striving, and maybe you were the whole time, but it's just like you said, a new energy. And that's cool because you get to share it with the fans. This is completely for the 1,359 backers. They have been on this journey with you for this past few weeks that you've been running the campaign. So that energy spreads. I mean, if we look at the campaign, I mean, it's doing absolutely incredible. I mean, you are about to break 100K on this campaign. I mean, you're at 97,530. You will break 100K on this campaign.
Give me some.
But that is just
what we missed.
I mean, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Congratulations, first off.
Yeah, I did not expect this. You always hope, right? You're always hoping that, but you're saying, okay, what's the least amount I can make and not lose money? You're kind of like, okay, I gotta hit that number, And so this has been terrific. It's just been real exciting, and you find yourself clicking on your campaign almost daily. Ooh, did I get another one? Did I get another one? Where are we at? Where are we at? And
well, just the comments, like the discussion has I can't even see it in my glasses, but like 250 comments on there that people sharing their excitement with us makes it even better.
Yeah. We've had such a positive experience.
That's a lot of comments. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a lot. That's huge. Now, do you guys have any updates? Have you guys sent out?
What I got 19. I sent out.
Very good.
It seems like every time because I was always posting new art and new updates, and so it was like, well, I got to let people know about like if I like one of the cards that say stretch goal on there, I got it penciled, so I'm like, here's the pencil, then I got it inked, I'm like, here's the inks, and then I got it colored, and I'm like, here's the colors, so it's like I keep sending out these updates,
And keep that up. Keep that up when you start getting your covers with the logos on them. When you start getting a page lettered, when you get a page colored, just keep people. They love that sort of thing. I know because I love it because I backed it. So that's another thing because once you get done with the book, okay, I'm done with the penciling and inking, but now here's some color pages, and you send 2 or 3, or you do whoever's coloring it, you do a little send them 10 questions. Your colorist, there's 10 questions with I don't know who's coloring the book, but who's coloring the book?
Yeah, I don't know 100% for sure yet.
Right, yeah, but once you do,
and
I know some good colorists too that are fantastic colorists that are very affordable and really good. And just do something like that.
Steve Cannon, I would recommend Steve Cannon.
Well, I've got somebody lined up, but I'm going to wait and see if they still want to do it or not, and because it depends on their availability and can I pay them as much as they want, and do they feel comfortable working on this campaign, as we all know about that. So, but
well, that's
but ignorance. Ignorance is that's not gone out of style, Aaron. Unfortunately, and Shelley, there's plenty of those folks that are just going to just spread negativity because they just have nothing else with their life, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this campaign came out of the gates and it hit hard. I mean, you hit like 50K within your first, what was it, 24 hours or so? Or a couple hours?
We were over. We launched on Ethan's show, and I think I was on there for maybe 4 hours, and we got up to 30 grand, and then by 24 hours we were over 40.
Yeah.
We were
so
just going, oh my gosh, what is this?
It just exploded, and then then when we got all the negative crap on Twitter about it, then it really exploded, because all that does is feed interest into the project. I mean, it wasn't pleasant to go through, but in the long run, it brought more people to the campaign, which I laugh because, these idiots that were trying to cancel us, all they did was make us more successul.
Right.
So.
Yep. So now thinking of that now,
I mean, I'll admit, wouldn't you, Billy? Like, I'll admit, Aaron, that's how I first heard about the campaign. is somebody said, "Hey, this guy Aaron, he's getting dragged through the mud by people," and I was like, "Dragged through the mud? I know who this. I've seen this guy's art." That's what initially got me clicked on it and checking it out back in the early days. I'll admit that, even though I have no negative feelings, but I just saw, why are they dragging this guy? Right. And then,
yeah, that's what we said too. Yeah. Why is he? Yeah.
Well, I was.
It's just so weird.
I know. Yeah. I was at a convention and recently in Portland here, and Frank Cho was here, and Frank, came up to me, started talking, and then, just random. And then he just all of a sudden goes, "Man, you got a lot of trouble in social media." And he was just laughing about it, right? Because he was telling me how he's people are on his case all the time for the way he draws women. He was like, it was the far right was on my case. Now it's the far left is on my case, and we kind of laughed. But he said to me, he goes, it was so funny because it was you. It was like, why are they attacking Aaron? Of all the people, why are they attacking? He goes, it was just ridiculous. We just kind of laughed about it and said, yeah, it really was. Because it's like, I challenge anybody to go back 5 years on any of my Facebook or Twitter accounts and find one negative thing I've ever said about anybody, and they can't find it.
Yeah. And here's another thing, though, too. The right never attacked Frank Cho. It was the left that checked. The social justice warriors who attacked him. The feminists, they're the ones that were attacking him. So,
I think that there was a time, if you remember, Billy, there was a time when there was kind of this conservative side that was saying, "Hey, it's inappropriate."
Yes, I remember
clothing.
He said it was like he described it as the religious right came after him first, and then now it's the woke. And he said, I'm just an 80s liberal. I'm not, I'm just kind of right in the middle. And it's so he just kind of
well, then I stand corrected and I apologize.
Yeah, I hope so.
No, but I think you're right. But it's been a while from that time. That was, like in the Frank Cho's amazing. But I think you're totally right.
Attacked by everybody.
Yeah,
you got attacked by everybody for the way he draws. Wonder Woman's hips are too big and this and that, and it's like, what are you talking about?
No. I think after a while you just got to become numb to it. And I think Frank has. He just he just laughs at the whole thing. He was laughing at what happened to me. It's just because it's just silly. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and that's what cracks me up is like, everyone, they go after us and that's like, okay, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, right? So they get you canceled from mainstream. They get guys canceled and taken out of an industry that they've worked decades in, that their skill is in, and then they get harassed because they're like, well, if I can't work here, I gotta make money. You got bills to pay, you have mortgages, you have kids, you need food, all these things, right? And they try to attack you on that front too. They don't leave you alone. It is unbelievable what they do to completely try to crush someone, and then they harass you because you decide, all right, well, if you don't like my stuff, I'm going to make it for the people that do. You're not even trying to sell it to them, and they come and attack, and then you get people out there that are like, oh, I would support this, I support that. You probably wouldn't support it to begin with. Have you supported other campaigns? Have you done this? Have you done that? But they still speak their voice, which blows my mind because they're just feeding in to the social media to make themselves look better.
Well, that's all it is, right? Yeah. Virtue signaling, right?
That's it.
That's all it is. Pat me on the back, click like, and I feel like my life means something now, because I have nothing else.
Billy is really behind those people. Billy loves virtue signalers. That's Billy's favorite thing is the people
in the morning
who create nothing.
I do.
Guilty as charged.
but Shelley, you did something pretty great though.
Pretty fantastic.
You jumped right into that. You jumped right into that wolf den, or actually the hyena den, right? In like a lioness, and you went and threw them apart.
Well, he came in and he says, you're not going to believe that Twitter's blowing up. And I have maybe been on Twitter 5 times ever before this. And I was like, what? So I'm looking at it, and then I'm just like, hashtag don't mess with my man. And I stayed up that entire night. That whole night I was up just responding. You don't even know him. And the things you're saying, not only is it, of course, hurtful, but it was knowing Aaron so completely ridiculous. In fact, now my phone was like, I'd push R and ridiculous would come up. I had put it in there so many times. But, I just kept saying this, we're not in a hate group. We're not racist. We're just, a dorky couple living around Portland that
trying to sell a book, you know, and it's just
a book about a man with a fire head and a werewolf. That has nothing to do with any current social issue at all.
Right.
Zero.
And you know, did you hear who, you know, it was like, why do you care, for one?
Yeah, these people don't even know me. They're like, can you believe Aaron Lopresti's, you know, associated with Comicsgate? And I'm like, you know, who are you? I mean, I don't even know who you are.
Right.
You know, it's like, you don't know me. You've never met me. And it's just
you know,
like,
I support him. You know, when I was a good wife, I knew exactly what he was working on and all this stuff. And now I'm just like, did you get paid? Okay, great. But I honestly had never heard of Comicsgate. So I was like, what are the, you know, what is all this? And now I'm like #1 cheerleader for Comicsgate, because we have never had this much support. I mean, other pros promoting other pros work. What? Like,
yeah, that's not exactly an industry standard.
Like tripled our friend pool. You know, like that was the best thing that came out of this, is just, we feel like people that like watch his show, and we have all these new friends, and some of them we've never seen their faces, but that's okay. But that whole night, I was just like, and then it started, they started then attacking me because I was defending, and they were like, who are you? And I said, I'm his wife, thinking, you can't see Lopresti on my, you know, on my name on there, but
genius.
It was, he is such a nice guy. But he's like truly, and I said, people like, you know, how did you know you should marry him? I'm like, because he's the nicest guy I ever met. And I'm like,
well, I just didn't feel there was anything productive to be gained by arguing with these people. I mean, I would say I haven't joined a hate group. Leave me alone. You know, that's not true. I haven't experienced that. I have not, you know, and leave it at that. And they would just keep on coming. But she likes to, you know, mix it up. And I was just like,
don't mess with my man.
I'm just like, you're just wasting your time because this isn't going to get anywhere, right? But we did get some chick Shelley got her shut down because she was an idiot.
Jen, she ended up going to my profile, stealing my picture.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah,
that's right.
It was actually a picture of our daughter.
It was our daughter. Colored.
Oh my God!
Face, made it her own profile pic, and then in her description wrote #Shelley Lopresti fan club.
But she misspelled Shelley,
of course. So. And so I was like, oh, now you're messing with my daughter. I was like, and he's not a gun guy, but I'm a gun girl.
There you
go. And I was like, oh, I've never wanted to use my gun more than when you're messing with my daughter.
I love it. Of course.
But then like a lot of people were like, oh my gosh. So there was at least a dozen of us that ended up turning her into Twitter. And she's suspended, which I was really impressed with. But, you know, saying things, I can't even repeat some of the things that she said I wanted to do to her. And
she said, go have fun at your book burning and something.
She skipped her KKK meeting tonight to go to a book burning.
Like,
isn't that nice? And these are the ones trying to cancel your books.
Yeah. And it's like, are you kidding me? Some woman wrote, they were talking about me, right, in my feed, but not to me, but about me in my feed. And someone said, well, what do you expect from a Nazi? And I just responded to her. I said, you could not have written anything more stupid if you had tried. And then that was it. That was the only thing I said. I go, are you kidding me? Why would you say it? And it's funny. I made a joke and everybody thought I was being serious, but I said, keep it up because I've just contacted my lawyer and you guys will sue you for libel and it'll help my retirement account that I don't have right now. Something to that effect, right? It was obviously I was being tongue in cheek. But everybody's like, you can't sue us. I'm just like, get a sense of humor, you moron. But it's funny, after I made that threat, a lot of people dropped off.
I was like, I will. I'll do it.
We didn't hear it from anything again because it is true. If I wanted to collect all these people that are making slanderous statements about me and trying to ruin my career, I could theoretically sue them for doing it.
Sure, you can. Sure, because you can cite a direct attack on a career. There's defamation with the intent to damage someone's career for sure.
I love
Aaron and Shelley, it's so great to meet you guys. I've got to jump, but I wanted to be here for a minute and just say, anybody's thinking about this campaign, these guys are rad. The book looks rad. Get on the ride because it's going to be a good one.
Thanks a lot, Adam.
Thank
I appreciate
you so
it.
much.
Nice
Thanks, guys. Pleasure, guys.
Bye.
See you later, Adam.
Gentlemen.
We shall see you.
Oh, that was
And
nice.
that's the problem is they don't do the research. That's the problem with this with our society is no one does the research. They go off of what anyone writes, what they TikTok, what they tweet, what they post on their Facebook. No one researches anything. If you associate yourself with Comicsgate, you're immediately part of a hate group. Yet no one's really experiencing a hate group. Now you have people going back and forth saying some pretty nasty things to each other, but that involves whatever they have going on.
Right.
It doesn't involve the entire, but because the names are bigger, it's like, well, if that's how that's going to be, then this is how everything's going to be.
Right.
But people understand that these people are having a dispute.
Right.
They're going back and forth, but other creators are not doing that.
Right.
Not at all.
Right.
But it's just guilty by association. They don't want to accept anything else but to go off that. And the thing is, if you research that, I know people that say to me, I believe in what Comicsgate is about. I believe in, creative freedom and censorship. And if you want to have representation or anything, that's fine. Do it your way, this and that. Leave me alone. Let me do my thing. Or why can't both things be in the mainstream? Why can't this be that way? But they won't do it. It just, it won't happen. So
no, that's the thing. I had people sending me like, Twitter, they take a picture of like some guy that got busted 4 years ago for child molestation or something that hashtag Comicsgate. And I'm like, why are you sending me this picture? I don't know who this guy is. He's not a friend of mine. I mean, what does this have to do with me? Well, this proves that Comicsgate is such and such. I'm like, that proves nothing except that this guy's a criminal.
Right.
Exactly.
And I did a video where on my YouTube channel where I just I said, this is like, Comicsgate is like a bunch of people, and this was me in college, that we discovered cherry vanilla yogurt, right, at Ralph's Market in California. And it was the greatest thing ever. And so we would go and do these which is stupid, group grocery shopping trips, so everybody didn't have to drive their car. And then we'd all pile out and rush to get the cherry vanilla yogurt, right, and fight over it to get it. Because
it was really good, apparently.
So I said, okay, so take this scenario. We got a bunch of people who love cherry vanilla yogurt. They get on the internet and they say, you know what? Let's do the Cherry Vanilla Yogurt Society, right? We're an appreciation of cherry vanilla yogurt. We'll get together once a week. We'll talk about cherry vanilla yogurt and how much we love it. Well, one of these guys decides to go rob a bank or attack somebody, and he gets arrested. And now suddenly the entire cherry vanilla yogurt community are rapists and evil people, and it's like
right. When you look at this SJWs though, with all the shit of all these pros that have gotten fired and people that work for charities and things in comics, these people that have these all this stuff that comes onto them, is that all against all the SJCs? I love that someone said social justice.
I saw that.
I thought that was pretty badass.
Social justice cowards. I loved it.
I got in an argument with a professional, and I won't mention his name out of, professional courtesy, telling me how evil Comicsgate was. And I said, why would you associate me if you don't like, say, Ethan, or you don't like somebody else, right, who you did something wrong? I said, why are you conflating that with me? Why is that suddenly my crime now? I said, you're a progressive. So if some progressive commits a crime now, are all progressives these evil people that have committed this crime with this guy because you guys all, support the same thing? Well, that's not even it's apples and oranges. I mean, no, it isn't. It's exactly
the same thing.
Exactly right.
Well, and if people have probably figured out by now, I kind of speak my mind and I don't sugarcoat well. And so if I saw anything even remotely close to that, I would call it. I would say, that's just not going to work for us, or,
Well, you guys know that some guys on our, we get on Ethan's show will say some stuff that is probably not the smartest thing to say.
I call them cringe moments. There's cringe moments are like, that's borderline.
And you're like, dude, that's
a little borderline to say.
All have those moments, and some of them just happen to be more public, and but like Ethan has been incredibly gracious and kind, and he even said, hey, I get it, if you want to separate, then I totally understand. And we're like, heck no.
Yeah, they pissed me off now. It's not going anywhere.
Well, I was like, what is this group? Do they have like a secret handshake and a membership card? I didn't understand. And then now I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm making up the handshake, I'm making up the membership card. And because we've never seen anything like this or have felt. I mean, even people on Twitter.
Yeah,
I loved it that I was called badass. I got to admit, I liked it a little bit.
But yeah, I lost 70 followers right after the launch on the campaign, but gained like 600 within the next 72 hours, right? So it's like, you know, you start realizing there's a lot more people out there that are supportive of what you're doing than there are people that are trying to destroy you for no reason.
Right.
Okay? I mean, and that's the bottom line. There is no reason in the world why anybody should have attacked me at all. There's none. And yet they did, right? So it's nice that when you can kind of see the other side of it, when there's people out there that are being supportive and gracious. And I've had other pros that are remain closeted, right? That have contacted me and said, I can't believe what's happening to you, man. That's just stupid. These people are jerks and blah, blah, blah.
But you also got emails. You need to know the truth.
Somebody sent me Bill Sienkiewicz's rant on Facebook from 4 years ago about Comicsgate. Like that was the gospel. And that this is what Bill Sienkiewicz had to say. You should pay attention. I'm like, what does Bill Sienkiewicz know about any of this?
Yeah.
Has
also from 4 years ago.
Huh?
Also from 4 years ago. Things evolve, situations change.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it doesn't matter what Bill Sienkiewicz, and you know, do some research on Bill Sienkiewicz, people. You might not like him as much as you do.
You know, we would meet.
I love Bill
fans. Like,
sorry, I do. I love him. I love him.
Well, I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I'm just saying, do your research on him. Maybe they'll find out he's not as great.
I know Bill a little bit, you know, from just cons and stuff, and he's always been nice to me. So it's like, you know, but I'm just saying that my point being that it's not necessarily a knock on Bill. What it is someone somehow saying that this comics professional said this about this group that you're associating with 4 years ago, so therefore this. And I'm like,
right,
how that's not even
right. That's bad logic, and I know logic.
Yeah, because I never even had heard of Comicsgate 4 years ago.
Yeah,
me neither.
I mean,
I don't even know. I know that there were some people that were part of it, or whoever grabbed that name initially, and they're like gone now. You know, because we interview a lot of people on this show. We've done how many shows, Scala?
Like over 430, I think.
Right, and we have interviewed Comicsgate people and non-Comicsgate people. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that I've never met, you know what I mean, like these hateful people or anything like that. We've had a few people on right now that we don't like, that are both sides. That some people are Comicsgate, some people don't. We call them out, or we find out things about them afterwards or whatever. And that's not too cool of a person. It doesn't matter what their political affiliation is or what they affiliate, you know, comics-wise, SJW or right-wingers or Comicsgaters or I don't know what, because I know a lot of liberals in Comicsgate. I can't say that Comicsgate are conservatives because there are a lot of liberals in Comicsgate and POCs and stuff like that. And
you got plenty of women involved in the movement. You've got gay people involved in the movement. You got people of color in the movement. So how can you?
It's very diverse. It is a very diverse
coming from, right? I mean, you've got a diverse group of people. All they want is good comics and are sick of what mainstream is doing with the comics characters that they, you know, so they want something different. That's all this is, and it's just like. I don't know. It's just,
and they're getting such an awesome experience beyond that. Like they don't understand there's more to it, right? It's not just about getting awesome comics from creators. It's getting to know the creator, becoming a friend with the creator, going on the journey with the creator, doing live streams like this where they're in the chat interacting. Where if we want to talk to them and we want to say, okay, yeah, you know, Apex Comics will bring his comment up, talk to him, or they may even have a chance to get a link to come on and talk themselves. I mean, it's a totally different experience. And one thing that they don't get is you have Howard Stern, right? Rush Limbaugh, all these guys, you know, that are a bit extreme stuff. Like, it's entertainment too, right?
Yeah,
right.
It's entertainment. We're doing live streams. Some of us are more animated than others. Some are more very direct and down. But at the same time, we're doing things to entertain, not just talk about comics and stuff. We want to entertain. Maybe we want to wear costumes on the stream or eat weird things and do stuff. Like, they don't understand that, you know, like Ethan to me is a great job. He's got a great character. He's got a great persona. He's a very intelligent man. I mean, his vocabulary is incredible. He knows how to talk. You know, he's a great host, and he's got that like Howard Stern vibe. You know, half the stuff he says is awesome. Some of it's extreme, but to the core, it's entertainment, people.
Right.
Howard Stern doesn't act that way in private. Come on, you know? I mean, he's not like, he doesn't like sit there and hum through his phone and randomly call women and make them sit on speakers. You know, he's just a normal guy, and that's what they don't understand. So the hate group to me is the dislike of certain individuals that extend it to everyone. And because they fire back and forth, they drag everyone with it. But majority of, I mean, look at Dan Fraga, look at Graham Nolan, Andy, yourself. You know, there's so many creators out there that are just good people. 99.9% are good people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and the fun thing for us too, you know, you go to cons and you meet fans, and, you know, and over the years, you know, we see a lot of the same people. So then you develop a relationship and all that. But through this Indiegogo, we just have so much more connection and feedback. And they are going through this whole thing with us and supporting it. And it's been awesome.
Yeah. So we're, it was difficult to go through, but you know, when you come out the other end, it's kind of like being forged, you know, through fire, right?
Iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
And it's I feel pretty good about it. You know, there was times where I didn't. You know, I was like, did I make a huge mistake? What am I doing? But
he was just like, yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, realistically, we had someone I remember tweeted saying, "What is it? Good luck getting a job with the
top 10."
Yeah, I know.
Top 10.
I'm like, dude, why do you think I'm self-publishing? I haven't worked for DC in a year, and I haven't worked for Marvel in like 6-7 years.
I was told that too. I think it was you that another pro had posted, good luck with all your newfound success. I hope it was worth it.
Yeah.
Publicly. These are people doing this publicly. This is someone who's a friend of yours. You'd think they call you or text you or email you or at least send you, a private message.
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't. You know what I mean? No, they got to put it out there.
That's
and
right.
say they're disappointed in you publicly.
Yeah. So they can look like this great, warrior for, knocking down evil, and so they're not concerned about.
And then the same thing, I saw someone else said, "Oh, I was so looking forward to this, disappointed." So I was looking forward to this, now disappointed. And then I asked you, I said, "Did this person, did they pledge for a garbage man? If they're a fan of yours?" I remember they hadn't, so they weren't going to pledge.
No,
they're full of shit, and that's what they are, and I'm tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
I really am. And
it's always, you'll never work here, you'll never work there, but they never do anything to help get you work. Like, they're not supportive.
No,
they're not supportive.
They don't share it. I mean, I've done this. They don't share any of the. They don't even share your campaign. No, right? These people even if they didn't have the money, because again, we know that there's not a lot of money in comics if you're working for the big two. Mm-hmm. So, but did they even share your Garbage Man campaign before this? Did they?
No one did.
They share it when you announced that you did Wraith of God before you were on Ethan's show live? Did they sign up for it? No, they didn't.
I even told them, he's been on at least a dozen shows. Would you like the list for your approval? Because it was like that one show, but I'm like, he's been on dozens at this point. But there was, I've been reading the chat too. Somebody asked us about living in Portland, if we ever saw like the Antifa stuff or the Portlandia hipsters. And so I thought maybe we should answer that a little bit. It was in the chat.
What, I missed it.
Of course you did.
Well, Nile only pulls up super chats, $20 or up super chats.
Yeah, only $20.
So we ignored it.
It's either pay.
Give me some.
Pay to play, baby.
But we're about.
Now, wait a minute. Hang on a second.
Minutes.
I'm gonna find this. It was from Harlenberg.
Coach Patch. I've been hunting season starts Friday, so I've been getting up at 4:00 to get my body into.
That reminds me, our wedding anniversary is coming up because we got married opening weekend of hunting, and my dad was pissed.
Why would you do that to your dad?
Well, it was the only weekend I didn't have a volleyball tournament, so I was coaching, and his brother could get home from the Air Force, and I went back to work on Monday. It was
selfish.
And so, my dad was just, but that's how he remembered it too. Every year was.
So what's your anniversary?
So actually Sunday, I think it is the 3rd.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I better get something.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah, you better
Gifts.
get.
Gifts.
What are you gonna get her? What are you gonna get her?
I don't know.
Bling.
No,
Bling.
I don't have access to any of the money yet, so I'm
Yeah.
broke. I have no money.
Bling.
So I'll make her a ring out of a twisty.
There you go.
Here you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Anyway, to this
there it is.
question,
Yes.
no, because we don't go downtown Portland. We don't live in Portland. We live in a suburb outside of Portland, and I have no reason to go downtown Portland and no desire to anymore.
No, it's horrible. When my dad was in the hospital, I would have to drive through Portland because it was on the other side, and I was mortified by the shape of Portland and what's been allowed to happen. But they did start going out into the suburbs, but it was the other way because I was ready. I honestly had my gun loaded. I was like, they come out here, it's not going to be pretty. But yeah, we were worried a little bit, but it's just really sad what the mayor of Portland and all that let happen to the city.
Yeah.
And then, they're more concerned with boycotting products out of Texas than cleaning up the homeless situation.
It's like New York City is a shithole.
Yeah.
We were there this weekend. It smells like piss, vomit, and urine. And
Mm.
pot. Sorry. It smells like vomit, urine, and marijuana. And there
So
are
no piss?
Yeah, urine is piss. I said piss in front of a lady.
Special
I was just joking.
Double
'cause you
urine.
changed
You
it.
should.
You changed
New York,
it.
even when New York was in good shape, it still smelled like piss whenever you
Not
went to
really. No, not really.
Well,
Once the
subways,
blast
dude.
is
Come
over,
on now.
it's-
Oh yeah.
on those hot summer days.
That's the smell of success. You made it to the big city.
So we were at the New Yorker Hotel for a convention this weekend, and right outside there's this poor guy with his hot dog stand who gets assigned this, and there are two homeless people leaning against the walk crossing sign or whatever right next to him, and same thing right outside the New Yorker Hotel, laying down right outside sleeping. They've got the blankets, they've got their whole setup because vagrancy is not a crime anymore under de Blasio, and the city has just gone to hell. And you know what? They deserve it. They really deserve. They get what they deserve. You guys vote for this crap, and they should keep it. And like a city like Portland, I've been to Portland. It was a beautiful city, and now look at it. It's like a shithole.
Yep.
And I will not go downtown.
Yeah.
But you can just see and all along the freeways that go through, every open space was just tents and
Trash.
then
everywhere.
they clean it out and just leave all the garbage. And there was an apartment complex that they had a fence, and they were probably 10 feet from the sliders, and then right against that fence it was just packed with tents, and then the freeway. And I'm like, if I lived there, I would be scared constantly, and they don't care. Oh yeah, Shelley Showtime takes no sass. Yes, it's gas from this one.
Nice.
Tapping your ass.
Oh.
Yeah. But okay. So let's get some positivity going. And I apologize.
Let's get rolling.
How about to crush 100K?
Yes.
That's positivity right there.
Backers. How about
You
that?
got some more backers. And you've got 4 days left. So we need to share this, guys. We need to share everyone in the chat, everyone that's watching this recorded, live, whatever you're doing right now. You need to grab that link, share it on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram. Get the campaign out there. Obviously, you guys are going to go in demand with this. So if anyone out there is also a streamer, has a great channel, a podcast, or anything, if Aaron doesn't have any exceptions to it, reach out, bring him on for a guest, try to get him in front of as many people, and continue growing this campaign. Because this is great. Garbage Man is awesome. I love that. This is another road that you've done that just has blown up. Most people on their first, second campaigns don't hit these numbers, Aaron. It's absolutely incredible what you're doing. And it just shows that stepping stone journey that you're going to be on, because then the next one's going to do even bigger and bigger and bigger. So we got to keep this floodgate flowing, guys.
Indeed.
And gals.
Thank you very much.
So thanks for all the sharing. And
yeah, it's been real exciting and gratifying. It's really been a lot of fun, and I appreciate the support I've been getting, not only from the professional community, but from the fan base out there as well, that supporting this, because I know that it's becoming more, I guess, acceptable to crowdfund, right? It's becoming more of a thing, and people are more used to it and kind of getting but still you're paying for a product you haven't seen yet. So it shows a lot of faith in me as a creator, when you get this kind of support, and I really appreciate it, and I won't let you guys down.
Let's check out your campaign video.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
I love it.
I know, baby.
Excellent.
Badass.
Badass.
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Aaron,
We enjoy it.
Now that's a fantastic title, and I love the play on words and all. But how'd you come about the title?
You know, I was afraid. I was actually afraid initially to use it because although it does have a religious undercurrent to it, a Christian undercurrent to the story, it's not really the focus of the story. And I didn't want people to think that, this was like an evangelistic track or something, because it isn't, but it does have those elements. And let's see, without giving too much away, let's see, the character himself is like, he's kind of like the Blues Brothers. He believes he's on a mission from God to destroy these monsters, right? To do the work he's doing. And the question really is he, or is he just crazy, right? And so there was this, and so I don't know, I was thinking Wrath of God, then I was thinking, oh, wait a minute. I don't know exactly how I came up with it, but it just kind of fell into place. It almost, at one point I was kind of like, I didn't know if I wanted to use God in the title simply because I didn't want God to be mad at me, and I didn't want people to be misled or anything like that. But it was so perfect, that I was like, how could I not use it? Because it really fits with the story. And it's like, I'm hesitant to say too much about the story because it's one of the way it's written is there's a lot of information that gets revealed as you go along. Mm-hmm. And so there's like little twists and turns all through the plot, and everything I say, then maybe I'm giving away a little bit that maybe would spoil a surprise for somebody on page 22. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm hesitant to do that, but to answer your question, it was just, as creative people, you sit around and you're constantly thinking of ideas, and you're thinking of titles for stuff, and you're thinking of concepts. And, I just,
sorry,
my dog's getting a little aggressive.
Well, he's been growling at us this whole time, like, play with me.
So it's one of those things that just sort of came to me, and then you kind of looked at it and said, wow, this really works. I'm going to go with it. And it just, everything seems to have come together really well with it. The first image I did of him on the horse with the werewolf behind him, it just was a real powerful image, and then I colored it. It all came out really well. And so it was just kind of like, it's one of those, it almost makes me nervous to do another campaign, because everything sort of fell into place with this one the right way. And you're kind of, oh my gosh, can I do something as cool as this next,
Yeah.
But I'll try.
Yeah, no, hell yeah, you will. And you'll now, is this a self-contained story? Will there be Wraith of God 2? Are you doing the Graham Nolan thing where you're introducing new IPs with every book? Or are you doing
they're part of the same universe?
Yes, they are. I'm doing both because my goal is, I'm not one of those guys who I don't know how you do it, Billy, but you've done She for how long now?
Yeah. Since
like
94.
Which is beautiful, by the way.
It's like,
you're not so bad yourself, honey.
Hey now.
Hey now.
That's teen sensation Billy Tucci. I got to be careful with that guy.
Yeah, you do.
But
ooh, I like that.
but I've got a ton of characters, right? And it's like you want to get them out there, but at the same time, you don't want to ignore something that's successful, right? That you want more of. Correct? So I don't want to. What Graham's doing is a little different in the fact that he's doing like different monster stories, rather than, I guess the Shanu's a character, but it's more of a monster, right? And so it's like, I've actually got characters that, if they're successful, I'm not just going to go, oh yeah, we did $100,000 on Wraith of God, but the heck with that. I want to do this guy next. I don't think that's probably the smartest marketing strategy. Yeah. So, but I do want to introduce some more characters. So my plan tentatively right now is to do like a 64, 68 page giant next that has a Wraith of God story in it. It also has a Garbage Man story in it, and has a Kit Carter story in it. My space babe back there that everybody's been bugging me for years to do something with. See, do Kit Carter next.
There you go.
Yeah. So the idea is to do this anthology, but with full stories in them, right? So it's not like an 8-page story that you have to wait another 8 months before you get the next installment. It'll be a complete story, 22 pages. And then it'll just be 3 different stories. And that's a way I think that I can keep giving people what they want and still introduce some new stuff as well. So we'll see how it works out, but that's kind of my plan. So to answer your question, this is a complete story. And if you went and saw, for example, Wraith of God, the movie, this has a great ending. It has a great movie ending that ends the story, this particular story, but leaves the door open for the sequel, right? And so that's just how I'm going to treat it. And then and I've already got the next adventure plotted out for him, which is a vampire story.
Another backer.
That's kind of how I will treat it. And if the anthology does as well or better than this, I'll keep that format and say, well, people really dig Wraith of God, so I'll do another Wraith of God story, but I'll bring in maybe 2 more characters or something like that.
Nice.
Excellent.
But yes, they're all part of the Lopresti verse.
That's right.
Yes. Now, Aaron, will you be drawing all of the next book as well, or you think about hiring another artist? Okay.
No, I'll do it all myself as long as I can, because there are always going to be new stories of my characters that I want to do and get out there. I know Graham's doing that sort of giant size, 2-fisted manly tales or whatever, and using other people to tell the story as kind of like I guess a Compass Comics publishing project to go along with what he's doing himself. I'm not at that stage yet. It is true, I am a machine. But I couldn't turn over. I'm so type A. I can't turn over my characters to somebody else. It'd be very, very difficult for me to do that. Yeah. But you get to a point, I think, maybe if success keeps breeding success, that you're at a point where I want to get more out there, but I just can't do it all myself. So, then at that point, maybe I would consider having someone else do it. But if we're doing these projects, you're doing what, 2 a year max?
Yeah.
Because that's how long it takes to run the campaign, then get the thing done, and then get to the printer, then get it shipped out. So you're doing 2 a year. I think I can handle that. I think I can handle doing, 120, 130 pages a year.
It's 26.
I used to do that in a couple months.
We used to call him the hardest working man in comics because, people ask, I go, no, honestly, he works 24/7, because if he's not physically drawing or writing, he's thinking about drawing or writing, unless the only time he stops is if the Portland Trailblazers are on, but maybe not so much anymore, and when Nebraska football
is on. So I take a 3-hour break.
That's the only time that he stops thinking about it.
Yeah. And and this goes back to, like when I was 12 years old, right? And I think we all can go back and think about when we were kids.
What are you, 12?
Yeah, exactly. What am I, still 12? I mean, I've still got most of the stuff I did when I was a kid, right? It's stuffed out in a chest of drawers out there, and you can find all these different characters that I created. I mean, I was doing my own comic company when I was 12 with all these different characters. I only got about a page or 2 done of each book, right? But at least I had all my you know, I had my super team, I had my barbarian book, I had my monster book, I had the this and that, and I've always wanted to do that, right? So this is my opportunity to do that, and I don't know exactly long term how it'll take shape and take form, but I do know that as long as I'm doing just 2 books a year, I'll be the guy doing them. So
yeah, well done. And then you won't have to really travel so much, right? You know, with cons, if you're successful with your own campaigns and being a self-publisher, you know, that grind, right? I mean, I don't know. I work so much harder at a convention than I do at home.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just exhausting. It just,
oh my gosh, you go to San Diego for 4 days, you're working like 12 hours a day nonstop.
Yep.
You know, and it's just brutal.
What?
And
I don't.
Yeah, well, she does.
I
She
don't.
says like that, but you think about it and you say, well, okay, I make X amount of money while I'm at San Diego or New York, but this trip cost me $3,000 to do it, or $3,500, you know, and you're kind of like, was this
and
really
right now
worth it?
it's not even remotely fun to travel. We used to love to travel.
Yeah.
We've done a couple cons in Germany, and it was amazing.
Those are great. Yeah.
But yeah, the thought of even getting on an airplane right now, they'd have to liquor me up or something, because
I don't know, can you imagine wearing a mask for like 14 hours to fly to Europe right now?
My
Like,
God,
yours would be
yeah.
like,
Yeah, and that's like Debbie and I were talking, you know, and she's like, well, the reason why you hate traveling so much is because you know, because you used to work so hard. You're not gonna have to work as hard at these shows. I'm like, no, I can't stand traveling anymore, because I've been doing at least 20 conventions a year for the past 20 years. Because, you know, that's when I kind of stopped doing you know, well, 15 years ago or so. But then I was working for Marvel in DC, and even when I was when I had a steady gig with them, doing work with them, I still had to do all these conventions to pay the bills.
Yeah,
you know, because they really don't pay you a lot. And here's another thing: it was never enough. You know, I would do 23 conventions. Most of the time, they're like 22, 23 conventions a year.
Wow.
I mean, I got in the freaking A member club on Southwest, because we fly at a small airport by me. That you get in the whatever, I forget what it's called, because I flew so much, and it was all the conventions. And I'm just done. I'm sick of it. And I'm going to say, you know, I told him, like, if I keep going the way I'm going, this is like 2 years ago when I went full in, you know, with the Indiegogos and the Kickstarters. I'm like, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'll be dead by the time I'm 60 years old.
Yeah, run yourself into the ground.
Yeah.
What?
You run yourself into the ground. It's
I did it, so I know.
That's amazing, because the most I ever did, I think, was like 10 shows in 1 year.
Yeah.
And I usually would average between 5 and 10. And even then I would be like, you know, it's so easy to commit to a show, but then it's like,
it sounds like fun at that moment.
Then you're
right?
a week away, and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to fly to Tennessee. Nothing wrong with Tennessee. I had a good time there. Or you got to fly to Florida, or you got to fly to New York, or you got to fly, in your case, you know, if you're flying the other way to California, or even if you're flying, I did a show in Kansas City, which you think, that's not that bad of a trip. It was still like 4 hours by the time I got there, 4 or 5 hours. So I think I switched planes and everything. And it was just like, you know, 6 hours, whatever it ended up being. And you're like, I was there for a 1 day show, right? So it was just, got there the night before, I went to the show the next day, I left the next morning, you know, and it's like.
And when we were younger, we'd take a couple days, maybe.
Go
do stuff. And now.
And it's great when you get there. It's right, because it's inspiring. You know, you're feeding off all of this positive energy. You're meeting fans. You're talking to the other pros about what they're working on, etc.
That's where we saw like friends that we would only see at cons, and so it was really fun. But yeah, anymore it's just, and you know, there's other responsibilities we have here. The kids aren't home anymore, so someone's got to be here for the dog and the
take care of grandma. And so it's the only reason I really enjoy going to shows was, I mean, you get to fan interaction, but now we can do that like this, right? Even though we don't necessarily get to see people face to face, but me is to buy old comic books. And so I miss that kind of aspect of it as a fan, but I never really get to go to shows and just be a fan. Right? You get like maybe I get an hour away from the table on Sunday that I can go really rush around.
That's when he goes, you have to come into the show.
Right, so I can leave the table for an hour. So
because they all come up and go, did you draw this? is this free? And no. Oh, and then I had one kid go, well, what do you do then? And when I said I was a math teacher, the look on his face, about face, and then just walked away. Like, scary lady.
Yeah. You know what I love, Aaron and Nile, you've heard me say this before, is that like when you're at, like, say, at the conventions and the art students come, these college age kids, you know, and they're so cocky and everything like that. And, you know, and I remember one guy when I'm sitting there at my desk and, you know, I got my big booth at New York and all the stuff. And he's like, what? He's like, so did you do all this? I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh, so this is all your art? I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's pretty good.
Thank you very much.
You have a future.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for the validation.
Watch, motherfucker. I was just like, holy crap, you know, like, okay, thank you for you know, validating my existence and being able to afford my family. And somebody in New York Comic-Con today asked me, so when you're not doing this, what do you do? Like for a living, you know, like aside from this, what else do you do? Like, what do you do for a living? He didn't say what do you do for a living, but aside from this, what else do you do? And I'm like, this is it. He's like, this is it. I'm like, yeah. He goes, you make a living doing this? I'm like, yeah.
And then the jealousy grew inside him.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of funny. I've said this before that I think that, you know, there used to be so many outlets for illustration, right? I mean, you were interested originally in fashion illustration and
well, yeah, no, I don't know. I want to do illustration, but, you know, I went to FIT and I grew up in the fashion industry. My mother had a clothing shop and father. And, but then when it got to, you know, for illustration, well, first of all, my girlfriend went fashion and so I'm like, yeah, I'll go with what she's doing. But I also would rather draw. We did a lot of life drawing. I'd rather draw beautiful young women than guys that look like me naked.
Right. Yeah. No. Hey, you know what I mean? So I'm with you on that now. But I mean, the illustration industry, even from what it was, you know, when I started working in the late 80s in commercial art, it's just has shrunk and has shrunk and there's just no outlet for illustration other than comics right now. You know, children's books or something like that, but there just is nothing available. You don't go and get a job doing illustrations for, you know, a magazine anymore. It just doesn't exist. You can't even do newspaper strips anymore because there's no newspapers.
Yeah.
And the graphic designers took over all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
advertising, everything. I mean, that whole traditional illustration style, it went away.
It's
our
gone.
daughter's majoring in digital design and animation at college, and it worries me a little bit, but it's her path.
But you know, they're training her on a computer, right? So if she's doing animation, she's doing computer animation for video games or film or whatever, television spots. It's all computer stuff. No one's drawing anymore. And, you know, movie posters are all, like you said, they're designers who grab a bunch of photos and then put together the poster in Photoshop or whatever program they're using. And ta-da, there it is. There's no Drew Struzans anymore. There's no Bob Peaks anymore that are doing this stuff.
Yeah.
And
it's too bad.
Yeah.
And I learned that with the fashion illustration too, because I went into fashion illustration, and I graduated in 1990. So this is when the supermodels took over. So nobody wanted, I mean, they used to have these beautiful, in the New York Times, you know, beautiful fashion illustrations in Vogue and Cosmopolitan, all these magazines, and these artists were making 10 grand an illustration.
Right.
You know, but then Cindy Crawford came, and, you know, Linda Evangelista, you know, and all the Cheryl Teagues, you know, all these supermodels popped up, and everyone's like, Christy Brinkley, like, yeah, we'd rather have them sell the clothes. And so I ended up, you know, designing baby clothes for Macy's. So, but then again, I look at that now. Were you and I having this conversation that I work for Macy's, and my boss pulled me into a meeting because I was one of the few men that worked there. And I remember when I would make my presentations, I wore a suit because I love that whole 80s with the, you know, I'd buy suits and ties and everything like that. And I remember him saying, Billy, I know this may sound like a cliche, but I picture you sitting in this chair. I think that you have a great future at Macy's. You know, I was making 22 grand a year at the time. And then, you know, I just but I didn't want to draw baby clothes. I didn't want to draw, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I started
You had a big future in it, though.
Yeah, I started submitting illustrations of like teddy bears riddled with bullet holes and then sliding down a wall with all the bullet holes in it and stuff. And I'm like, no, I want to do comics and you know, not good with, thank God it was great. But geez, man, if I did stick with Macy's, I probably would have retired 5 years ago or so.
Yeah.
Maybe if I would have been vice president of design of Macy's,
Yeah.
because they had their own private. How much of a pension would I had? Maybe I should have.
I know you're like, wow, man, I should have. But you know, that's. I'll tell you this though. Here's the thing, that you know, we kind of look back on our life together, and it's been, you know, be 29 years this October. Yeah. Well, 30 Sunday. Since we met, but 29 married, and it's like, you know, we've always gotten by. We've been able, you know, we've had some ups and downs where we didn't have any money, and then other times where we were doing well. But what it has afforded me to do is work at home, and I got to go to all my kids field trips. I volunteered at the schools, you know.
He was very popular at recess.
Yeah, I was very popular at recess. And so my kids, they can say whatever they want about me, but they can never say that I didn't spend any time with them. And that's a great thing to be able to say at the end of your life. You can say, well, I drew Planet Hulk and I did Wonder Woman and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, ultimately, who cares?
Yeah.
But when you can sit there and say, you know, the kids that I raised, I was able to be there and be a part of their lives like I was. I mean, I was there all the time, except if I was gone to a con or something.
And then they look at me and go, who are you?
No.
But no.
So that's, you know, so yeah, maybe it would have been great to make, you know, 150 grand or 200 grand as at the Macy's, you know, but then you're gone all the time, right? Your 60-hour work week, and you don't get to spend that time with your family. So there's a trade-off.
That's true.
At the end of my life, I'm going to be glad that I got to spend that time rather than make a ton of money.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
Although I don't know if I was capable of making a ton of money anyway, but
well, yeah, when he was saying like when we met that first year, neither one of us made over 20. And I was working, I think, 3 different jobs and teaching full time. And I remember our mortgage was $135 a week every Friday. And Thursday night, sometimes we were like, hey, we got cans to take back. What are we going to do? You know?
Yeah.
But you look back, we've always been able to, even in this last year where it was a little tough, but we always have been able to pull it out somehow. But
that was good.
But you know, he's been able to what?
See, this is the thing, is at San Diego Comic-Con one year, I hired a taiko drummer, and he came with his giant drum, and he was in my booth just banging away in this drum, and he did this whole amazing thing, and we had this huge crowd. And then we got in trouble with San Diego Comic-Con because we're small publishers and we're not allowed to do that. But meanwhile, Marvel's at the next booth over a few aisles down, and they're throwing out free trading cards of packs to people, and then people killing each other. But that's okay. But if I'm bringing art to a convention, a little bit of culture, come after me. Now I gotta. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Thank you.
For John F76, I never wore suspenders. I wore braces. Now there's a difference. Braces are the 6-button suspenders. Suspenders are the little clip-on metal kind that you see the big fat guy wearing at Home Depot. Well, I wore braces.
Okay, good to know.
Sorry.
You went pretty far back for that comment too.
Well, I saw it, and then it just reminded me. And then, yes, Carol.
How far?
Carol married Ron Greshner. So here's a funny story. So my girlfriend in high school, Joy, her sister was best friends with Carol. Her name is Joy Wolf, and she was a big time model as well. And Ron Greshner played for the Rangers, and you know, they sucked. They made Sassoon Jean commercials while my New York Islanders were winning 4 Stanley Cups in a row. So hot. So fun times, Shelley. Aren't you glad you came on?
Absolutely. No, we always have fun, and he makes me laugh every day.
Isn't he? He's just a dream. He is.
Oh my gosh!
I know. Look how cute he is.
If only I still had my hair, boy.
Are you gonna dye? Are you gonna dye your beard like all the other guys are doing, all the bros are doing and stuff?
I think so. I thought we were gonna do a stream. Shelley and I were talking about a stream with her going in and like dyeing the beard live. And see what happens.
Well, I have no gray hair. Well, I have some here when I try to grow a beard, but Debbie noticed that I can't do. I'm starting to get a little bit of gray hairs here, like the Reed Richards. So will I still be teen sensation if I have the?
That'll be tough to sell. Well, you'll have to color it. I think if you want to stay,
mind.
You'd have to put former teen sensation.
There you go.
If you got gray, right? To be former teen sensation.
Former teen sensation. I think so.
That's funny.
Nice.
And I'll get rid of this idiot over here.
That's already done. It's already done.
A rogue stripe of gray. I was like, oh, thanks. Yeah. I'm walking around like this.
No, she was coloring her hair all the time, and she just finally said, "You know what? I'm going to embrace the gray." And I said, "Do it."
Well, who am I fooling? I'm old.
You're not old.
My mom started turning gray at 18, so I feel like I made it a little bit longer than that because I am only 29.
There you go.
Nice. Yes. And 200 Watt Studio, thanks for the $5 super chat. God bless you all. Inspirations to all us hopeful artists and writers. Shelley, next time someone asks at a con who you are, say, I'm the booth babe.
Yes.
There you go. Yes.
I'm handing out cards.
Pep talk in the mirror in the bathroom. I'm the booth babe.
Yeah. And I remember we were at San Diego Comic-Con 1994, and I'm sitting there signing, and it might have been late. It might have been like 2000 or something or whatever. But so I'm sitting there signing, and this guy goes, "Hey, do you mind if I take a picture with your booth babe?" And there's Debbie.
Was your wife?
It was probably 94. Well, yeah, no, I don't know what year. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm waiting for this. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. I'm like, hey, booth babe, and she turns and looks at me. I'm like, can you take a picture with this guy? I want to take a picture of my booth babe. And Debbie goes, okay.
Well,
I'm like, I thought she was gonna like hit him or something, stab him.
Oh man, that's funny.
Because you got to remember, there were no women at these comic book conventions back then, unless they were like booth babes.
That's true.
Aside from the pros that work there, stuff like like that. But
there you go.
Look at this. I think
great bone structure.
Under the chubs.
I based her face structure. That's what I based when I drew Wonder Woman. I took Shelley's face structure for Wonder Woman.
That's so nice. Well, and I was a character in Sludge.
Yeah, she was actually. She was a reoccurring character in Sludge. So now Marvel Comics owns her. She's in the warehouse. They won't let her out. They won't let her out. But no, she was when we went. Let's see, we got married in '92, and because Josh was born in '93, so we got married in '92. But she came to San Diego when we were engaged.
Oh, that's the time you made us drive down.
Okay, that's not why I brought the story.
We slept at a rest area on the way down in the car.
We did. I had no money. What do you want from me? I had no money.
And
that's not why I brought this story up. And now
the Bickersons. And so on the way home, okay, so at the con, I had never seen that much cash, and it really wasn't all that much, but I was jumping on the bed.
It was $800.
Yeah.
So we're driving home, and I'm like, dude, you have money. I'm not sleeping in my car again. And I think I said, if you plan on marrying me, I'm not sleeping in the car again. I think I said that.
Okay. Well, that's not why I brought this story up. The reason I brought this story up was that Shelley was the booth babe back then, right? In her mini skirt,
her spandex days,
tight clothes, and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So we always got some action at the booth because Shelley was there. But then she got wise pretty quickly and then quit coming to this is what happened.
I went to the pool.
Yeah, she would go to the hotel and sleep in and then go to the pool and show up for dinner. And then she just quit coming altogether, right?
Oh my God.
So that's when I started.
For a little while, because we had a baby and I was in graduate school. Yeah.
But that's when I started bringing my son with me every year. And then Shelley just recently, like about 5 years ago, decided to start making the comeback trail at San Diego. So
I don't
but
go
she
to the
still
pool
won't go to the
anymore,
booth.
though.
She just stays in the hotel and crashes and orders room service. And I'm like, "Are you coming in today?" "Nah, I'll just meet you for dinner."
I'm bad.
Fantastic. Yeah, I have Debbie working.
Well, I can remember one of the first ones. He was coloring prints. I can remember, and I was feeding him as he was working. because he didn't want to stop.
Yeah, chili was dropping on the prints, and I just wipe it off. It's part of the coloring job.
We took Josh with us. He was like 3 weeks old.
Yep.
To San Diego one year. So
I got pictures of me holding him and sketching. Oh, she was in the bathroom getting sick. She had food poisoning.
Oh no! Yeah,
those were the days.
Yeah,
that's one for the record books.
We did that too. We had the pack and play in the booth.
Yeah.
He's playing in there, and Debbie's selling and stuff, and good times.
We did SunCon like that down in Florida. If you remember that, we had Josh in a little playpen behind the table. We were doing our thing. So yeah, good times.
Yeah,
good times.
Now
we're gonna have 8. Now, are you scheduled to go to San Diego Comic-Con for 2022?
As of right now, I am. Yeah.
Hopefully, you will.
If Gavin Newsom says we have to show any sort of like vaccination card or anything that I feel is oppressive, I may not go. But we'll see.
Will he be governor by then? Is there another real election coming this November, or it's next November? So he will, right?
I think he's still got 2 years, so I think he still will be there. So who knows what crazy restrictions they'll be putting on.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But right now, yeah, I'm supposed to go. So.
Well, we're going. Well, I'll talk to you before then.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably talk once or twice before then.
Yeah, I think
maybe.
So.
Oh, I can't wait to meet her.
Yeah, you guys will get along like peas and carrots, and you guys will chew us up and spit us out. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yep.
That's some practice.
You guys are cut of the same cloth.
Oh yeah,
nice.
100%.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
I would feel so safe in that room.
It's like family. Your wife's the same way, Nile.
I know.
If we all go to dinner with them and we get them drinking, they'll destroy us.
They'll destroy us.
They would just destroy us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun though.
That is awesome.
Exactly. Well, hey, it was great hanging out with you guys tonight.
Hey, thanks for having us. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Double check if we got any new
plug in the campaign and helping us. That's just fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Definitely. So now, are you going to do a closeout stream?
Yeah, I am. I think my closeout is Monday night. The way that thing flips, it's like 5 days and suddenly it says 4 days. You go, wait a minute, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Why did it just flip? When it goes till midnight on the last day. So I'm pretty sure it's Monday night. So it's going to be Kings of Comics Gate, whether we want to have a closeout stream or not. We're going to have a closeout stream.
Whether they want to or not, Aaron's taking over. Shelley's just going to say, you're going to have it.
It'll be by default a closeout stream. If it ends up being Sunday night, I don't know. I'll have to schedule something with somebody. Since Ethan is taking over my time slot on Sunday nights, I guess I'd show up on his show anyway.
Yeah, just go do a closeout on his channel. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what started it and got me in trouble. So I might as well finish it.
That's where you got to end it out. Exactly.
I would have been on there every day.
That's awesome.
Saying whatever.
It says closing out Monday night. There you go. So yeah, so it should be when we're doing Comicsgate Kings or Kings of Comicsgate or whatever it is. So
yeah.
Whether it's official or unofficial, there will be some sort of closeout stream.
I want you to hit 10. I want you to hit 110 when you close out. You'll hit 100 before Monday.
It's been slow the last couple of days. I've been trying to get the word out because it was really weird because we did the 30-day closeout, right? And we did I think $5,000. We went from 86 something to 92 that night on Ethan's stream, and of course everybody was taking shots except me. And then
I'll be the stand-in.
Yeah, she'll stand in and take shots for me. And then the week after that, I did about another 5, and got it up to about 97. And then this final week, it's only been, I don't even think I've had 10 people sign up on it this week.
It's to work, bro. It's to work.
Yeah,
I know. You sketch every day, you draw every day, you stream. That's what happens. You go. There's ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys, right, Nile?
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. Yeah, you're going to get it when you do that final closeout stream. You're going to get hammered too, and then once you go in demand too, you'll end up getting hammered.
Wait. Though let's hammered 2 ways, hammered drinking or.
Well, you're going to probably get hammered drinking, but you're going to get hammered with orders and backers.
Yeah.
I like that one then.
There's
the booze babe, Shelley.
Brian,
there you go.
Babe.
I really don't drink that much very often.
Oh my God, what a great show.
You should. All right, so you have to take a shot per backer you get.
per backer.
No, that's too much.
I'm going to liver
dead.
failure.
I know.
No, you got to do it every $1,000. You take a drink every $1,000, every $500 or something.
We'll have to make a Hammer Time meme to pop up.
Excellent.
Oh no!
It'll be Shelley's face on MC Hammer just going back and forth, taking a shot. Someone make that. Someone out there make that for Aaron so he can post it on his streams.
So funny.
Look at
I
that.
know you're out there. You
Imagine
can do it.
Shelley driving the Harley and Aaron on the back. No.
I get my big rocker chick hair.
No, I would never agree to that. She would be in the sidecar or I would walk. I'm not going to let you do that to me.
Awesome.
Let you drive and put me in the sidecar? Never. I wouldn't do it.
Let you walk.
I have too much man pride to let that happen.
Oh man.
John F76 says, Shelley and Aaron, are you looking forward to fulfillment?
No.
Yes and no.
I've got a feeling that that's going to be like the worst thing ever. It's like, we can do it. It'll be no problem. It's only 1,500 or 1,700, whatever it ends up being, and they're going to be like by week 3 going, oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
And one of the sounds I hate the most is when he pulls that packing tape. So I may have to get noise canceling headphones or something.
Well, yeah, there it is.
That would be it.
That's it. But the thing is, I don't know, Billy, I don't know how you are, but I am so type A. I can't, the thought of me hiring someone else to fill the packages, I don't trust them not to screw it up. So I'm doing it myself, and I may hate myself when I'm done, but I'm doing it myself because I want to make sure it's done right.
Well, plus it's tough. We do a lot of things, and Deb will talk when we do the comic book couples show. I have a lot of remarks I do. We do signed editions, we do metal editions. And, we have fans that have been our fans for 25, 26, 27 years. And they get those special editions. So we know my buddy Old Cap, he gets everything number 19. Like Dr. Blevins gets everything 11.
That was me. Yeah. Oh, it's funny.
Anyway, so that's why it helps to do these things yourself. Plus, I do the sketch covers and all. And Nile, I put something in the private chat. I don't know if you want to play that. I want to let everyone know that this show was sponsored by the Evil Knievel.
Oh my gosh! You're never going to let that go, are you?
Oh my gosh!
Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that Triumph Bonneville go.
Dude, they did not work like that.
No, they didn't.
Oh my god!
They shot that thing about 1,000 times.
Was that Andy Smith?
I think it was Andy Smith. Young Andy Smith.
Andy Smith.
My brother had that. I didn't have it, but I played with it.
Wow.
We never kind of got that super speed going where you could make these incredible jumps. It would always go.
Commercials do lie.
They always lie.
I didn't sweat as bad as the kid did on the Crossfire commercials back in the 80s. That never happened. Do you remember those? Is that not for you guys?
I don't remember that.
You remember Crossfire? And the kids are sweating like crazy, and the little guns shoot the little BB balls at the spinners. It was late 80s stuff. No,
I was old in the late 80s. That was.
I wasn't old yet.
We were in college though.
Late 80s.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
I graduated college in the late 80s.
I'm I think.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm a 70s commercial kid. I remember all the Skittle Bowl and all the game.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah, exactly. Games were huge in the 70s.
Ethan is eating a pie right now.
Oh, we have so many games. Oh my
what about Stratego? Remember the game
Stratego? I've got that game. I've got it from my child still sitting over there in the closet.
I want that game, and I have Risk. I bought my house 23 years ago. Someone got me I bought it, the Risk 50th anniversary edition in a metal tin, and I haven't opened it yet.
You still haven't opened that?
Yeah, I can't find anyone to play with me because it's like a whole weekend thing.
Bro, you're we'll set up a whole weekend. We'll start Friday night, and we'll try to
gotta be invested, man.
That's how to play Risk that long.
Monopoly.
Yep.
We got the Lord of the Rings version of Risk and played it a couple times.
Excellent. Oh, Clue's a fun game.
Yeah. So
Battleship. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Clue.
Yep.
I'm still stuck on Operation.
Yeah, you sank my battleship. Oh yeah, Operation Hungry Hippos.
My
Yeah.
operation doesn't it doesn't shock anymore. I don't know if maybe it's the batteries or if it's just broken, but
I don't know. I'll look at it.
Oh, Kevin Thompson. Yeah, the $6 Million Man. I watched every episode of the $6 Million Man from second grade to sixth grade.
Yep. Remember the action figure where it was like his bionic arm was clear plastic and you could see the mechanism in his arm?
No,
Yeah,
no. You're well, maybe you had to roll up the skin. And then you yes, because you're thinking of the Mike Powers action figure, the G.I. Joe, that came out like a year before that. And the Mike Powers had one bionic leg, eye, and the bionic arm. And his arm was clear plastic with the mechanism.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, the Steve Austin one was bigger, and he had the red jumpsuit.
Right.
And then you get the Sasquatch whose chest popped out. But remember, Steve Austin had you could lift the engine. It was like a V8. He had a motor. He lifted up, but you had to peel the skin back to see the clear metal in it because it was clear plastic, but like with like metal pieces and stuff.
Now,
but the skin would always rip and get dirty.
Wasn't there something that would, if you curled the arm, it'd form a bicep? Was that a G.I. Joe action figure that did that, or was that something else that? Do you remember that?
Familiar. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody had muscle like bicep grip, and you bend their arm, and it would like. I can't remember if it was a G.I. Joe, or if it was maybe a Steve Austin or one of those characters. I remember that distinctly, and I'm like, what was that? But they had like, they had that muscle action or whatever. I can't remember.
I totally remember that. I totally remember that. You do. Someone will know. That's those are G.I. Joes towards the end of the line. Okay. Remember they had the Intruders. Remember the Intruders with G.I. Joe? Remember that they were short, stocky. They came from underground.
Yes.
And then that's when G.I. Joe had remember G.I. Joe had the beard, of course, right?
Yes.
And
yeah.
And then there was
like
the eagle eye G.I. Joe, and I had one, but whatever mechanism, a rubber band inside broke, and and his eyes would go. So he was like blinded. I had that. He was the blind G.I. Joe, like he got blinded by a grenade blast or something.
You had to put bandages around his eyes.
Oh, funny.
We got a $5 super chat from Rankabout. Billy, I'll take you on in Risk. Big Jim had the bicep.
Thank you, Rankabout. I haven't played. I played Risk like when I was in 4th grade, 5th grade, but I haven't played, so I probably suck at it. But I'll take you.
I'll take the risk.
Yeah.
But he answered your question. Big Jim had the bicep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The bicep. Was it just one arm, or was it? I think it was just one arm, wasn't it? It wasn't both arms because both arms were too expensive. I think it was just the one arm.
I remember I scored with the G.I. Joes because being us 70s kids, we had the Man of Action. All the greats from the early, like 1970, 1968 to 66 through 68. That's all the World War II stuff.
Right.
So they had the Japanese one, then they had, you could buy rifles and grenades and all the cool military stuff. And like I scored with my cousin Anthony, because he was like 6 years older than me, and he had all that. You know what I mean? So he gave me his what is it? The Foot Locker with all that in it. So all the kids are jealous of me because I had all the cool stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Oh,
both arms. Thank you, Rankabout. Thank you.
Rankabout says no, it's both arms.
Yeah. That is awesome.
And Rankabout
trying to find a Big Jim commercial.
I know.
I want to see what this Big Jim's about.
I want to see that again because I
remember the Jim West toys, the tall cowboy, and yeah, General Custer was one of them. And then
are you talking about the Wild Wild West television show?
No, it was a really tall action figure, and you had there was like an Indian chief. I think there might have been a Lone Ranger and Tonto part of that line too.
Here we go. Oh my gosh, he looks creepy.
He looks weird.
And we thought that was like the coolest thing ever, right? Back then.
He doesn't seem that big though.
No. Give me that bicep action, man.
Wait a minute, that's Big Jim with a bionic arm, right? Oh no, that's his arm. Okay. Yes.
So both arms. The bicep comes up.
Is he gonna bend the arm? Come on.
Yeah, come on, dude. What is this? We don't want to see
it. I don't want to see this. This is weird.
See the action.
That's weird, dude. That's not real.
What's this flashback?
That's like gay porn.
That was like gay porn. Oh, is this it? Is this
Action Jackson? Remember Action
Big Jim action figure? I don't want to sign up. Oh, this is horrible quality. This
Where's
is
the
trash.
bicep, dude?
Come on, where's his bicep?
Oh, that's right. He had the little thing so he'd talk.
His backpack talked.
How cool that is.
Oh, he got a little camper and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
It's a Volkswagen.
the Volkswagen.
Volkswagen Camper.
Well, we've got to do a comic book a toy stream.
Yeah, I did one with a friend of mine not too long ago, but we didn't get into the old toys. We were just talking about newer stuff, and I would love to go back and like just talk about old toys and stuff like Captain Action. Remember that? There was a Captain Action figure.
Yeah, with the different masks.
Yeah, he had the hat.
Spider-Man and stuff, right? Remember?
Yeah, I would love to do a stream all about naked action figures. I could probably find some more of those videos.
Yeah, I got it.
In our house, it was like headless Barbies, and
you got to see the She Action figure, our latest She Action figure naked. Oh my god! Because
Wait
it's
a minute.
like,
Are you
they made it like it's a Viking toy, and it's like anatomically correct. Let me tell you that.
Oh, thanks for the $10 super chat, Sister Zero.
oh, he's
It's
my
not cheap.
Thank you.
Just tipping the host for a great show. Who says never meet your heroes? You lot are great. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're our hero, buddy.
Thank
Babes.
you.
For sure.
There we
Very
go.
good.
Show.
Oh, so you someone says that J-Dog says that you streamed with Aaron Sparrow too?
Maybe.
Is that what
I've streamed with a lot
I'll
of
stream
people.
with that same guy, Aaron.
Oh,
So that's why I had
Aaron
my show.
Sparrow?
Aaron
Aaron
Sparrow.
Sparrow.
Oh, you're not Aaron Sparrow?
Wait, what?
Who do we have on the show?
Well, I'm out of here.
I feel bad if I did stream with this person because I don't remember.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah.
Very
We've done
jolly.
400 shows, Niall.
I know we've done so
Yeah.
many shows.
400 plus.
So many.
We won't tell.
Yeah, don't tell them.
Oh,
Don't tell them.
okay.
Cut this out.
Listen, you
Cut it
guys,
out.
you guys are awesome. Aaron, keep creating. Shelley, keep kicking ass and,
Yes.
and taking no shit from
Taking
anyone.
some names. Yep.
Yeah.
Very good.
I will.
Very good.
Thanks.
Yeah,
We
and,
love you
and
guys. You
share
guys
this
are
campaign, everyone. On the road to 100. 4 days. The tour is on the road to 100. Spread the word on all your social media,
Oh,
and
thanks.
let's break that 100K. And follow Aaron. If you're not following Aaron yet, or Shelley, head on over to Twitter. You can follow. Just type their names in, and they pop right up. Follow him on Twitter, Facebook. Aaron streams daily, pretty much on his live streams. I usually, when I'm at work, sometimes I watch him draw. It's almost like
mesmerizing.
stalking. It's almost like I snuck into his house. I'm just watching him draw, and I don't
hard.
say anything. I walk in, I watch, and I leave. That's what I do.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
That's
Say,
what
I didn't mean to take it away. I was gonna. I'm sorry. Let me stop share. Sorry, I took your campaign off. I was.
Oh,
Gonna
don't
save
worry,
it for
bro. I
last.
got you. I got you.
No, I was gonna save it for last, and I
know.
forgot that
I
I'm running it
always
with you.
got you. We always gotta promote the house campaign,
Yeah.
bro.
Well, I just want to say to everyone out there, when we do get to mine, well, wait. Let's talk Wraith of God. Let's get $100,000 before the professionals start
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Come
Wouldn't
on,
it?
guys.
Hey,
How
did you
pretty.
see Graham's ripping off my game show idea?
Oh,
Dude,
I
what
was
is up with
confused.
that, bro?
What?
Damn.
No.
I saw something like
Ram.
match game.
Yeah, he's going to do match
Match
game
game.
though, which is actually going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
So we bring in 2 people from the audience, and then they have to match us.
Yeah.
Like Superman
That's
always
pretty
had a big blank. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
and who
I'm
are
gonna-
you going to be? Charles Nelson Riley?
dun. No, I'm going to be. I'll be. Well, I don't have any hair, so I can't be Richard Dawson. Maybe I'll be.
Well, he got all the kisses, didn't he?
I'll be Brett.
Yeah. Well, you see my avatar here? I'm going to change that to Paul Lind.
You gotta get Billy. Billy's
Yes.
gonna recreate the dating game on the professionals.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh! Can
gosh.
you imagine?
That
There
is
you go.
funny.
But with
That's
the
cracking up.
wives and see if they pick us. Our
Yeah.
wives pick us.
Yeah, they
Oh,
sure
that's
they wouldn't.
funny.
We have to disguise our voices, though, right? Everybody'd have to like talk for one of those things that make us all sound like Darth Vader.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he said Devil Flyer said,
Buy a
buy a
rug.
rug. All those hosts had rugs on back in the day, you know? So
Not Chuck Woolery.
Not
That was all
Chuck.
not Chuck
natural.
Woolery.
Ooh.
Chuck
Went to.
has his real hair.
And his love connection.
Is he still alive?
Oh yeah, he's still
Yeah,
he's
he is,
a big
right?
conservative.
Yeah,
Twitter guy.
dude, he's really into
Oh.
his guns and everything. He's awesome.
Nice.
He he pisses
Dress
off
up
a lot
like
of
him for
people.
Halloween, Billy. Be Chuck Woolery.
American style.
Love
Yep.
American style.
I'd rather be Paul Lynn.
I'll do it.
American style. Yep.
It's me.
Are we gonna wear funny clothes tomorrow? Can we wear something cool? Like
I don't know. I wish I had like an old like polyester kind of jacket or something I could wear. For,
Your mom might have something.
Yeah,
She
she might.
saves
Go to
everything.
Goodwill.
Yeah,
or
dude, I
something.
got
They probably
some-
have
yeah.
people-
I
You
got
get
some
it for like
cool
$2.
Value Village too. Yeah.
yeah.
I got
that's
this-
so funny.
I
Big
got
old
this-
wide tie with all super colorful and
Yeah.
Nice,
All
you got
well,
another
let's talk
backer.
about $200.
how about that?
Thank
All
you.
right,
Nice.
thanks, guys.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh,
Awesome,
so
awesome.
overwhelming.
So great.
Cool.
And if you have a little cash left, make sure to check out the Sheet Omnibus is still in demand.
Woo, look at that.
Yeah, we're thank you. Yeah, and this book is going to the printer tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So this is their
Yes.
last
Yeah.
chance to get their orders in.
No, we're gonna keep it in demand until we get our books. We
Oh,
print
that's right.
over.
You're
Yeah.
over.
But
printing,
yeah,
sure.
so I think he's telling us it takes like 8 weeks to print this freaking book. And I'm pushing them for 8 weeks because they're understaffed. They can't get anyone to work for them because the binding of the hardcover is a lot of work. And we had the ribbon put in. So Nile, thank you, Nile and Mindy Lopkin. They reconfigured all the pages. Now just did a fantastic ad for me. Thank you, Nile.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Now did all my chapter pages, all
Wait a
16.
minute. So you have a designer like put your
Yeah.
book together?
Yeah.
I
Well,
need-
I
I
work
need
with her. I
somebody-
work Mindy Lopkin. She's my letterer, and I work hand in hand with her. So
I
we'll
need
be
someone
posting the
to put
next
my book
update.
together when it's done.
Yeah, it's just great to have someone who knows, because I don't. First of all, I don't really know Photoshop or Illustrator or any of that stuff. I don't know it at all.
I know enough to be dangerous, and that's it. I couldn't put a book together. I'd have to hire someone to do that for me.
Yep. So we're gonna statistical zeros backer number 8. Oh, she never moved so fast. Thank you. Where's that? There you go. I'm back in number. Thank you. So yeah, so we're gonna go. It goes to the printer tomorrow. And here's another thing, guys. We got our barcodes and the price tag on that barcode. Scholar, guess what it's gonna be?
What is it?
It's not $60.
What?
$79.99. So after this campaign ends, you want to buy an omnibus, it's $80. It's 500 pages, for God's sake.
It is 500
That's
pages.
Hardcover.
Enormous.
Yeah.
I think it's
So
huge.
Brian Polito, I saw Brian when Brian did the new Lady Death omnibus, $100. I'm like, Jimmy Cricket, I gotta get on there.
That's
Oh,
interesting.
not-
See, I'm going to get a barcode for Wraith of God, but I didn't think about you should probably price it higher for the barcode for people because all those will be sales after the campaign.
Yep. So let
Correct.
everyone know that price is, and that's a great update. That price is exclusive to that campaign.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you guys helping each other out and giving each other pointers. I mean, that's just doesn't happen out there.
No,
Something
not
that
yet.
I just love so much about it.
You know what it is? Because we're grown-ups and we're secure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
There's so much insecurity, and it's like herding kittens, dealing with most comic pros or a lot of comic pros.
Oh,
Yep.
remember, I'm a teacher, so yeah,
She knows.
I'm herding cats all day long. No, not anymore, but yeah.
Oh, what was that?
It's the professional way.
Oh, yes.
Now, Brian Suddenly Old said, "Sorry, Billy. Aaron took all my fun money for the month, so you're on the back burner right now." Oh,
Yeah, you're in line.
Dude, that's
You're
quite
lying.
all right. It's important to back a campaign while it's funding. The in demand is a luxury.
that's right. It's gravy,
There you go.
but
It really is. It's wonderful. And but we will be adding some metal editions. I think Friday I found 3 metal editions, Scholar, of our 25th anniversary Todd McFarlane homage cover, the Spider-Man number 300.
Oh,
3
nice.
medals. I'm like, what is this stuff? And she's like, I don't know. Those are your books. And I went through them. There's 3 of them. So we're gonna put them up. I think they're like $125 each. There's only 25 of them made, and they're all numbered. So they'll be signed, and they're signed too. So
Oh, very
well, that's
cool.
cool that you can, because you're in demand for so long in a lot of cases. I mean, you not so much because your book was ready to go, but you have people in demand for 4 or 5, sometimes 6 months, and it's like
yeah.
something comes up, and you're like, hey, I'll just add this as an extra perk or tier to the in-demand campaign. It's great that you can do that, and
And it's smart to do that. It's smart because that keeps people excited. It keeps them in the loop.
Mhm.
You keep them abreast of the progress of the book.
Right.
And you know, like I said, this is an amazing community. And if you could make a living doing comics, and especially your own comics, and a good living, I mean, seriously, Aaron, you get someone to help you with this. You get another artist to work. You can put 3 of these out. That's another $100,000 coming in.
Or if you don't sleep.
Yeah, or if I don't sleep.
Or no, you just hire someone.
Yeah,
to do
that
it.
is true. No, you're absolutely right.
Hire someone. You know, it's the characters. You know, they'll still support you just as much. You do covers. You know, you write it, or if you want someone else to write it, then you hire another artist to do the illustrations. Just saying, it's a business. You got to start thinking of this as a business.
Right.
Well, I got to get the business. She's always doing this to me too. We got to get T-shirts, and what about hats? And I'm like, okay, let's get through this campaign first, and then we'll expand slowly.
Yeah,
and
we should do this. And I set up his YouTube channel years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago. But, you know, like I said, he's busy.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a lot of work.
We got a kid in college, and before that we had the other kid in college, and so he very responsible.
Yeah. But I also want to thank you guys, and going back to Aaron, that you said, fortunately, you did like 9 shows a year. You were able to go, you know, you were always at all the kids' things. Me, I was the opposite because I had to do so many shows because I haven't worked for DC since 2014. I haven't worked for Marvel since 2007. And again, I was doing 20, 22, 23, 25 conventions a year. And I missed so many baseball games and wrestling matches and concerts. And it's heartbreaking. I'm not doing that anymore. You know, I got one more, you know, my youngest is in 10th grade, you know, so I want to be at every wrestling match. You know, every baseball game, you know, concerts, all that stuff. So,
well,
and that's to you guys.
My point wasn't to cast shade, but it was simply that we have the opportunity as being people that work at home to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the great thing. We have the flexibility to do that.
Yeah. And the cool thing about being
trade-off.
Yeah. So, all right.
All right. Very good.
Awesome.
You guys are awesome. Aaron, keep kicking ass. So, Shelley, so great to have you on.
Oh, thanks.
Come on again, Shelley. I want
please.
Yes, it's fun.
Just leave. She just come on, be the guest. And all.
You can do that, Shelley.
Good for me.
So, and just ask Shelley everything that she doesn't want to say with
Yeah.
And we can do that with Debbie. We can have Debbie. I won't be there. Just, you know what I mean?
Just
oh my
do
God.
our own comics chicks show.
Yeah,
There you go.
Just
awesome.
how we just lie
Booth
all the
babes.
time, and the booth babe, the booze babe show.
The booze babes.
The booze
That'll go
babe.
well.
There you go.
All
right. Well, everyone, have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. Chat, you've been awesome. Thanks for the super chats. It was great seeing one. Mods, you did wonderful tonight, as always. We got some new mods in, so this is great. Aaron, Shelley, it was a pleasure having you on. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see that post or tweet saying you rocked that 100K, and make it happen, everyone.
Yeah. Thank
Make
you.
it happen. All right, everyone, have a great night. Make sure to watch Professionals tomorrow night on Graham Nolan's channel. So if you're not subscribed to Graham Nolan's channel, just type his name up in that search bar on YouTube. But do that right after you hit that subscribe button and click that bell for notifications so you know when we go live and we upload some new content. Everyone have a great night, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the Pop XP and over on Instagram at the Pop XP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.